21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Did you know that most of the medical device innovations in the United States are tested outside of the country? Medical device startups really struggle when they're faced with the reality of conducting a first-in-human early feasibility trial in states, because the uncertainty of the FDA, the difficulty of recruiting patients, and the costs associated with these trials force these companies to go overseas. My name is Julio Martinez-Clark. I'm the CEO of Bioaccess, the only medical device first-in-human contract research organization in the United States that helps U.S. medical device companies with their first-in-human and other early feasibility trials in Latin America. Companies in the United States, when they're developing a advanced medical technology, they face several challenges of raising funds, building a world-class team, understanding the regulatory requirements of the FDA, and then designing a clinical trial that will validate the safety and efficacy of their innovations. And it's at this stage when companies understand the struggle that they will likely face when trying to recruit patients fast, because time is of the essence. These companies have investors that have injected millions of dollars into their hopes of bringing a device to the market, and they need to validate the safety and efficacy of these devices very fast so that they know if the device actually works or doesn't work, and they have to pivot or change strategies, etc. So this is the reason why most of medical device companies in the United States go to Eastern Europe, go to Australia, go to Latin America for their first-in-human on other early feasibility clinical trials. And Latin America has positioned itself as the go-to destination for these companies in the past 10 years or so, because of the geographical proximity, because of the same time zone, and also because it's a lot faster and easier and cheaper to recruit patients in the region. Did you know that it could take a medical device startup about a year just to get a clinical trial approved? And the savings in time and cost in Latin America can be substantial. About 70% of the time that will take the same company in the United States to get the trial approved, and about 50 to 70% savings by conducting the trial in Colombia, in Panama, in the Dominican Republic, and other countries in the region. There are several countries in Latin America that are great destinations for early feasibility clinical trials, including Panama, the Dominican Republic, even Chile, even though it's a little farther south. It's a great country. It's very safe. It has over 20 million people, and it has a very fast approval process to get patients on the table to test or to validate the safety and efficacy of the devices. There are other countries like the Dominican Republic, which are closer to the United States, very safe countries, beautiful countries as well, and also with great hospital infrastructure, just hour and a half to 2 hours from Miami. Panama is a beautiful destination, even though it's a smaller country. It has a couple of fantastic hospitals, world-class hospitals, where medical device companies can test their innovations. Bioaccess has built a network of clinical research sites from Mexico all the way down to Argentina. So we are your foot on the ground. We can help you find investigators and hospitals in the different countries in Latin America where you can recruit the patients that you need and have the implantation procedures done to validate the safety and efficacy of these devices very fast. In countries like Panama, we can get a study approved because of our contacts, because of our knowledge and experience in the regulatory approval process. Trials can get approved in 30 to 60 days. In the Dominican Republic, in about 60 to 90 days. In Chile, in about 30 to 60 days. So we have the expertise that companies in the United States need to find the right investigators and to recruit patients fast in Latin America. During the pandemic, we were faced with many challenges because patients didn't want to go to hospitals. So, and the team from the United States, our client, couldn't travel to the hospital where we were testing the devices. And we got the trial approved, but we couldn't bring patients in, and the team couldn't travel to the country. So what we did is we set up a telemedicine consultation with the different patients. We're able to recruit patients online via website, via social media, and we interview these patients virtually. The investigator was able to have them sign the informed consent form, and then to account for the fact that the team from the United States couldn't travel, we were able to set up different cameras in the operating room at the hospital. So the team from different parts of the United States via Zoom was able to guide the local investigator on how to implant the device and validate the safety and efficacy. And we recruited over 30 patients this way. Our team is a world-class group of physicians and investigators. We started inside the University of Miami about 20 years ago. My brother Pedro and his mentor, Dr. William O'Neill, are considered some of the top interventional cardiologists in the country. My brother Pedro trained at Harvard as an interventional cardiology at the Beth Israel Medical Center. And he was part of the faculty with Dr. O'Neill at the University of Miami and started helping a lot of medical device companies that were working with cardiovascular technologies. And these companies were seeking the help of the University of Miami to connect them with investigators in the different countries in Latin America. And we, after a few successful studies inside the university ecosystem, we decided that it was good to have a separate company, a spin-off that was able to serve more and more companies in different areas beyond cardiovascular and outside of the university bureaucracy and ecosystem. So we were able to build a fantastic team. We have over 40 collaborators. Most of them are in Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Dominican Republic, and we are able to speed up all these approvals and move the team around as needed. We have the only podcast in the industry that talks about medical device clinical research in Latin America. We interview leaders of the US Medtech industry that have experience in clinical research in Latin America so that they can guide newer founders, newer CEOs, and they can avoid mistakes because of the past experience of the guests that we have on our podcast. We also have the only newsletter called the Medtech Pulse newsletter that is the only vehicle that disseminates information about medical innovation in Latin America. We see Bioaccess in 5 years as the leading medical device contract research organization in Latin America. Uh, right now, we are the leading CRO for innovative technologies, but more specifically, we see ourselves partnering with the leading medical device CROs that are being created in the United States. In the past 5 years, there's been a proliferation of world-class medical device companies, medical device CROs that didn't exist. And now with private equity funds injecting resources into medical device CROs, we see ourselves being part of Avania, Vernex, RQM Plus, one of these bigger players, so that we can absolutely provide better services to our clients in Latin America. You can visit our blog on bioaccessla.com, where we post articles about how companies can streamline the approval process in Latin America. And also, I write a column on MedDevice Online, which is a leading medical device media outlet, where I write about medical device clinical research in Latin America. And by the way, it's the only outlet that talks about these topics. So it's a great source of information, actionable information that companies can use to navigate the waters of getting clinical trials approved faster for medical devices in the region. If you'd like to find out about our services, just go to our website, bioaccessla.com, or reach out to me via LinkedIn, Julio Martinez-Clark. I'll just Google my name. I'm very active on social media and easily findable or searchable online.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.